My name is Alex R. Wagner, and welcome to episode 96 of No News is News, where we talk about the news and the news talks about the news, and we make fun of the news because the news isn't really the news, because there isn't really news anymore. News is basically just commentary of news, or news is the news. You are the news. No news is news. Okay, Jimmy Kimmel got back, Yesterday, Jimmy Kimmel was allowed to go back on the air. Or the announcement happened. He's coming out tonight. Show, I think, shoots at 5:30 or 6 p.m. Local time there, which right now, 7. They're probably about ready to get ready filming, or they already have filmed it. It will not air until, I believe, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time tonight on ABC affiliates that will play it. And with that said, fucking props to Sinclair and Nexstar for both pushing back against the narrative that Disney wanted to spew after they lost. Like, I've never seen a cancel culture campaign like this one, people. If you weren't paying attention, or you don't pay attention to news media like I am, if you're not on your little daily reports of your variety, you wouldn't have noticed that Disney reported today that the Hulu and Disney Plus subscription model will go up in price starting next month. So if that wasn't a first indicator that they messed this whole goddamn thing up, there you go. Second one, that they put him back on the air, even though both of the networks that pulled him off of the air aren't putting him back on the air. So the show is working and operating at a loss right now, but Disney has to put it back on the air, hoping people will renew their Disney subscriptions that they canceled, because otherwise, because they already have to raise the price. It's showing... what it's showing is that these major media organizations, there's a lot of clapback power. There's a lot of democracy going on inside of their organization if they lean heavily on a subscription platform. Because Disney getting cancellations in the amount that they did triggered that Disney's stock would lower, that they would lose billions of dollars. They're now putting him back on the air, even though he didn't apologize, and the networks aren't going to even have him on the air. So the show is operating at a loss, but they still are going to just let it go because they're hoping they can get a few wokesters to re-sign back up, because they're increasing the price next month. And if they don't get the wokesters to re-sign back up, Disney might be not Disney anymore. That's how quickly something like this can backfire when you're a corporation with no soul, trying to, preach morals. Like, that's the thing. That's why I've been against cancel culture the entire time, which is like always against cancel culture. But at the same time, we'll tell you why I'm mostly in support of this Jimmy Kimmel thing. It is hearsay that the FCC is involved. I can also say, without a doubt, guy shouldn't have said that on a podcast, okay? Probably should be fired, just like Cash Patel, just like Pam Bondi, saying stupid things like Trump. I don't know why Trump's not firing these people. I don't know why we're not finding new ones, but that's that, okay? The situation at hand is proving out to be completely private. Now, Trump and the FCC may have given them the green light to show that they have this power, but these networks have always wanted this power. They've always wanted to tell the production companies, I don't like your woke bullshit. I'll not take that one, please. But they haven't been able to willfully do it until now. And I don't know if that's just because there's a major tragedy in America that no one wants to talk about, or if it's because that the FCC gave them a green light on a podcast that, as a CEO of a major cable corporation, you were listening to the Benny Johnson show on Rumble at 3 p.m. Like, it's just, it's not what happened. the jumping of the gun of the free speech. This guy has every outlet at his disposal, can say whatever he wants. These same people screaming free speech, none of them were defending Kanye. And as I've already painted the picture to you, Kanye was sitting on a toilet, had a thought, pushed a button on his own personal cell phone on an app in which he was communicating with individuals in the world, which is now being declared a town square of the digital public. And they removed his bank account. Let's keep it at that. They allowed him not to have monies anymore. Meanwhile, Jimmy Kimmel is on one of 5 networks where you can't even say swear words. And he insinuates that the president of the United States and his supporters are behind the assassination of one of his largest supporters 5 days after the assassination, which is like a historical event by any standard. And we gotta defend free speech here. Like, again, like, if you're not gonna be on one side, but you're gonna be on the other, then and you got all these people that are now like, I defend Jimmy Kimmel because I always defend free speech. These people are not defending Hail Hitler. These people are not. Even like, and what I've realized is these people are complete fucking cowards. Unfortunately, the reckless recluse in his basement, Nick Fuentes, those types of individuals seem to be the only authentic ones left, because the only ones that are speaking authentically are grifters like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, who are clearly bought for by vitamins that they're selling. But as far as these comedians, none of them were at the Charlie Kirk funeral. And what I will say to that is, they can't go to the funeral for the man who got them the tickets to go to the Oval Office, to be at the White House for the inauguration. Anyone that was at the inauguration and did not attend Charlie Kirk's funeral, I'm questioning why. Besides Tim Pool, who keeps telling us that, you know, his security detail wouldn't allow it. I understand. He's the most secured person in the world. I get it. But Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, the Paul brothers. Did sponsorships keep you away from the Christian funeral? The largest remembrance gathering since MLK? You seemed very excited to be at the White House taking photos as Donald Trump was being sworn in. Now less than a year later. I mean, 7 to 8 months later? Like 9 months later? You can't go to a funeral for the head of the youth, the multimedia man, a podcaster himself, a free speech thinker. And now I got to hear it from these motherfucking bullshit individuals. I got to hear it from Tim Dillon, and I got to hear it from Joe Rogan about how we got to defend free speech. And it'll come back to bite you, says Joe Rogan. It'll come back to bite you. What? They bit you. They bit everyone. And now a billionaire is being put in timeout for a minute. And you're going to try to equate that to what you, as well as any other, have been through? You jump on the gun of being an idiot media man. Joe Rogan, I've lost it. I've lost it for Joe Rogan. I had an actress friend of mine that posted, like, you know, just because you don't say something on social media, like, you know, there a lot of stuff's getting misconstrued. Like, just go out, touch grass, fucking try to experience things for your own sanity, on your own merit. Don't worry about who did or who didn't post what. But when it comes to these individuals that are cultural fanatics, they need to tell you every time that something happens. If there was a hurricane, they'd be like, we need to get there today. Here's the fucking Red Cross relief, blah, blah, blah. And now we can't even speak about Charlie Kirk, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. You have all these right wingers on there. You have the president of the United States on your fucking podcast. And now not only can you not attend the funeral or speak about it for a week, you play like syndicated episodes of your programming for the first time like ever. But when you message on Instagram threads that you were elk hunting this whole time for the last 2 weeks of the biggest cultural event of the last century, and that you'll speak about Jimmy Kimmel on Monday. And then on Tuesday, you release an episode with Andrew Santino, a LA Valley comedian. And you both walk the line of being like, yeah, these right wingers, how could you, wow, you're praising that they're the cancellation of the, yeah. Yeah. Why does he not have to say sorry? And if you're not going to have to say sorry, why does he not have to go through the same thing Shane Gillis went through? Why does he not have to build it from the ground himself? Why does he not have to start a podcast and a Patreon and do fucking stand-up over and over and over and over and over and over and over again for 3 years in the middle of a pandemic? And then get on your show, Joe Rogan, as Jimmy Kimmel, and then speak to you, and then build up ticket sales so that he can sell out arenas, so that he can be a comedian. Why is that not the trajectory here? If he doesn't want to apologize, why does he get to just walk back into the job? I mean, maybe it's because your platform's independent, so you don't understand the concept of like, but you've been on these shows. Like you worked for Fear Factor. You worked on a sitcom. Well, I mean, everything was NBC. NBC seems to be the only network left that's normal, so maybe that was the problem here. But sometimes some of the shows you work on, Joe Rogan, they're inherently politically biased. And if you say the wrong thing politically about the thing that we're all talking about on Twitter that day at work, they fire you. And they spit on your grave and they hope you die, or they shoot you in the neck and watch you bleed out and go, ha, 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 with their hijab on CNN. Or they're the vice president of the United States and they go on MSNBC and they glorify yet again and say that Donald Trump is a dictator yet again. Not understanding the fundamental perspective of like what they're doing. What do we do to dictators? We get rid of dictators. We isolate dictators. We shoot them. We kill them. We annex them. So anybody caught calling a democratically elected leader a dictator is insinuating direct violence upon that leader. So you have the vice president of the United States, the ex-vice president of the United States on a book tour, literally at like right now, like yesterday. Donald Trump's a dictator. You have the hijab fucking retard lady from Minnesota. Oh, hate speech. Literally calling Charlie Kirk a Nazi after he's dead, buried in the ground. I'm not going to not say it, she says. As Caitlin Collins looks within herself through the stare in the fucking camera to see if she still has that Alabama soul that she once had as an American. Because she is now interviewing a soulless deity demon. And I hope she realizes that. Let me repeat that again so that you can tell your friends. But again, anyone calling a democratically elected leader a dictator is insinuating that we should kill the democratically elected leader and cause violence directly upon them. That is what they are saying. Calling someone a dictator that was democratically elected is an incitement of violence, is a direct incitement of violence. Because you are, what do we do to dictators? We topple dictators. We don't negotiate with them. We get rid of them. So if you're calling a democratically elected president a dictator, you are saying get rid of them right after someone was assassinated on TV. That's crazy. Crazy madness. Not to mention like all this, like, okay, so Vice President of the United States, she's doing that. And then she's also on MSNBC, and Rachel Maddow, a gay woman, asks, well, why could Pete Buttigieg not be, vice president candidate? And she walks herself into a bigoted corner of being a straight lady in San Francisco. I'm an ally. I'm an ally. I'm an ally. It's like, just don't do the book tour. Then when she was on The View, oh my God, can you imagine being somebody with like an opinion of like not loving people on one side of the political aisle? Just having a view other than I love every Democrat. Because she had 6 women around her, and it was like a gossip fest. It was like, this is how I felt. I just really wish we had more time. The one thing I wish was that we had more time. There's not a single individual on that panel, let alone in the audience, that's just, even at this point, thinking, you're a politician and I hate you. Just everyone there is like, oh my God, she survived. She almost did it for us. If only she had more time. Donald Trump goes to the UN, and the worst things imaginable could happen. An escalator stopped, and he had to walk upstairs. Yeah, you heard that right. In New York City, at the UN, the President of the United States had to walk up some stairs. What does the world come to when you have to walk upstairs? Then he gets in the room, and the fucking teleprompter doesn't work. So he does his little like Hitler-y thing of being like, now I'm saying Hitler-y thing because he's being very authoritarian here, okay? Where he's like, that person's in trouble. That person. But again, everyone of all these different nations laughs when he says that person that with the teleprompter's in trouble. They don't think like, it's Kim Jong-un and he's going to die. They're going, this is the President of the United States. He's making a joke about somebody that fucked up their job. So again, not a dictator. People from multiple different countries sitting in New York talking to the President of the United States do not feel he's a dictator. He's actually did a pretty good, pretty solid 30 minutes. Got a solid amount of laughs. Said that he fixed 7 wars or ended 7 wars, but got no help from the UN. No help from the UN. 7 wars, fixed them all, fixed every single one of them. And then you sat here and you UN'd your UN, and you don't even get your stairs to work or your teleprompter. Can't believe I came here. Say hello to you guys like this. Anything else happening? No, we got to wait for Jimmy Kimmel to like do this stupid fucking thing. Thank God the next star and Sinclair no. Because now we have something that has never happened in media before, people. We have a divide. We have a fight. Will they bow to Disney's demands? Will they finally accept and pay for the programming and eat a dick and suck some liberal fucking assholes? Or will Sinclair and Nexstar go, you know what? We watched the Benny Johnson show on a Wednesday afternoon on Rumble, and we think we can take down Disney. I don't know. But either way, Jimmy Kimmel definitely not going to apologize. Jimmy Kimmel's going to go out there. He's going to be like, hey, guys, it was misconstrued what I said. I want to be very humble and talk to you guys like I'm a real person, even though I'm fucking not, and I'm a crock of shit. And I'm going to say, like, I said it right here. I'm not against it. Now, here's all these people that are saying that I'm against him being killed. I was never against him being killed. And but I'm not going to apologize for saying something completely corrupt and misinformed by insinuating at the top of the entire program that the person who killed Charlie Kirk was a member of MAGA. Just here's the thing. Jimmy Kimmel, keep being Jimmy Kimmel. Keep kissing your ass. Go right up to Bob Iger, kiss that little puckered asshole and go, yum. Tastes like a little bit of shit, but yum. Okay? And you're going to be like that, and that's it. You're good. But here's the one thing that we all need to do. You want to fix this? You got to get rid of the retarded fucking writer's room, okay? Everyone in that writer's room, straight up retard. Because if there was an assassination and you're sitting in a writer's room and you're trying to figure out how Donald Trump and his minions are covering it up, then you're not good at your job of being in a late night comedy writer's room. Even if you're trying to do like that Daily Show style fucking journalism, not in there. Like you set Jon Stewart back 15 years and made everyone, including Jon Stewart, defend you. Defend your stupidity. Now you're going to go out here and you're not even going to apologize. But Sinclair Next Star, tell me where I can buy merch. Let's make this a movement. Let's get that GoFundMe going for your multi-million-dollar organization. Let's stop Jimmy Kimmel and Disney. Let's do it. Let's never let them back on the air in Idaho ever again. You want Kimmel? You go to the valley. Or you get no Kimmel. Like in Texas, they're like, you could drive to Austin or Houston, but there ain't no fucking Kimmel in Dallas. There ain't no fucking Kimmel in Dallas. I want to live in that world. I don't want to live in a world where everyone has to watch shitty Jimmy Kimmel. I want to live in a world where if I want to choose to live in a shitty part of America with no industry or trains or buses or fun restaurants or millennial activities or people that treat their dogs like humans and just American individuals and farm, then when I turn on the TV, which I don't even know how I'm reaching a TV at this point, when I get a flat tire in Boise, Idaho, and I pull it in to that breaking fast break, I want to see on that screen, no Jimmy Kimmel. I want to see a news anchor with a half ugly face like Caitlin Collins trying to fight her way into a CNN room to interview some lady with a hijab so that she can realize that she just wants to go back home because her parents have a soul and no one at CNN or anyone that she will ever interview again does. Caitlin Collins, call up Chris Cuomo. You guys you're one and the same here, okay? I would say Don Lemon, not to be racist, but Don Lemon is a gay, weird activist, okay? So, like, don't talk to Don Lemon. If there was a black Chris Cuomo, I would tell you to Van Jones. There you go. Caitlin Collins, Van Jones, and Chris Cuomo. Guys need to hang out. Everybody else at CNN, go fuck off. Donald Trump. If Jimmy Kimmel wasn't a biatch, I mean, I heard this suggestion before, which is like just have his friend, the man show host himself, his co-host Adam fucking I don't know what his name is now. Basically, like the LA conservative podcast version of Jimmy Kimmel, because he did the man show with Jimmy Kimmel. Adam Carolla, and Adam Carolla kind of started podcasting. Jimmy Kimmel went on to do the Jimmy Kimmel Live show on ABC. It's really weird to be on ABC and also think it's really funny to talk about decapitated heads and murders of fathers of children 5 days afterwards. So, doesn't really work. You should call up Universal. They figured it out with Fallon. Fallon's got his own ride. Kimmel can't get a ride at Disney. If you had the Kimmel ride at Disney, it'd be like, here's the Donald Trump fucking I hate Donald Trump ride. The Jimmy Kimmel ride is just they replaced It's a Small World, and then at the end of the ride, they shoot a animatronic Charlie Kirk in the neck, and it squirts out blood onto you as you go down the river. That's the Jimmy Kimmel ride at Disney. But call up Universal, because the Jimmy Fallon ride, it's a Jimmy Fallon ride, and it's fine. You could have your own ride if you weren't just continuing to be shitty Stephen King. Just stop being shitty Stephen King and you could have your own ride. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the live stream of my Instagram algorithm if you stick around for the last hour of the show. I don't know how long I was on. I definitely wasn't on an hour. How long were we on here? Probably a half an hour, something like that. I don't know. Not really feeling it tonight, guys. Tomorrow's the big one. Tomorrow, South Park has the biggest episode ever. And I am scared. I'm scared to do a live stream afterwards. I'm scared to talk about it. I'm scared to be near a phone or the internet when the show comes out. I'm scared of how I'm going to feel about South Park afterwards. But right now, I have all the hope in the world that Trey Parker and Matt Stone can do this. They can unify America where no one else, including Joe Rogan, even could do. Even Tim Dillon, not really building the moral compass that I wanted. He did, like he said, he made fun of the healthcare CEO, but here he is advocating for a multimillionaire on ABC who is just being a dildo. Anyway, Kimmel, stop doing it. You can have your own ride. Call up Fallon. I'll see you guys tomorrow.